Darkcast Network. Out of the shadows comes the best of indie podcasts.
Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast, where two lifelong horror fans talk all things horror. Pour yourself your favorite drink and hang out. Here are your hosts, Josh and Jake.
Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's exciting episode, the continuation of our month-long Shudder Originals. Jake, what are we going to be discussing today?
We are discussing 2023's When Evil Lurks.
Dun, dun, dun. We cannot pronounce anybody affiliated with this movie because I'm pretty sure it's a Spanish movie, like from Spain.
Yeah, when you look it up, it goes movie, director, it says language, Spanish.
Yeah.
If it says English on other movies, I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, I haven't either. So this is a first time for the J Squared Horror Podcast. Am I right or am I wrong? I'm pretty sure it's the first time we've had to read an entire movie.
Yeah, so when I first hit play, I was like,
I gave you forewarning.
You did.
I gave you
and I forgot.
warning.
So I hit play. So the first 10 minutes, I was like, all right. Is it going to switch to English? What's going to happen?
No.
So let me go in, put the captions on, subtitles.
Gotta have the subtitles
Boom,
on.
There we go.
So if you guys are at all interested on watching When Evil Lurks, this original movie from 2022?
23.
Put your subtitles on. It's Shudder or it's AMC Plus.
Do it when it first starts.
Yeah, AMC Plus covers into Shudder, but if you just have Shudder, I think both are only like $6 a month. This whole month we're going to be doing Shudder Originals. So honestly, you could probably use a free 30-day trial, I'm imagining, for a lot of our fans if you don't have it yet.
Yeah, and it's on Hulu too.
Oh, it's on Hulu too,
Yeah.
so that's exciting. Is that free on Hulu?
If you have Hulu.
If you have Hulu, yeah. So, like we say, when we're covering these types of movies, pause us, go check out the movie, then come back to us. Or if you like to listen to us talk about it, then go watch it, you know where you can watch it. But before we get into this exciting episode of When Evil Lurks, what would we like to let anyone new to the J Squared Horror Podcast know, Jake?
As always, like and subscribe on YouTube.
It's super easy to click buttons, guys.
It is. That way you don't miss any new episodes we have coming out.
Exactly. Comment along. Let us know how you feel about everything.
Turn on your notification bell.
Bing!
And also, you listen to us on Spotify.
We're on there.
As well as Apple.
We're on there as well.
And always on Instagram.
Always.
J Square Horror Podcast. Link tree in the bio. New episodes. Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, two lifelong horror fans decide to get together. We drink. And we talk all things horror.
That we do.
With this horror podcast, we consider ourselves the world's most original horror podcast because we are not information-based at all.
We are nuance free.
We are nuance-free. Some people consider us dumb and young in the horror fandom.
What are we, the Gronk of horror podcast?
I guess so. We're just young and dumb and just fucking things up. Basically, all we like to do here is find horror movies to watch, whether they are requested by our fans or new fans of the podcast, or if we just come up with it on the fly. Like this month, we just decided to cover all Shudder original horror films because they're easily accessible, cheap, and I honestly feel like Shudder and AMC Plus are good to have for horror fans. So we want to, we want to promote things, even though we're not affiliated with them. We get no percentage of sales or anything like that, not yet, with Shudder or AMC Plus. But I mean, what the fuck is $7, guys? Like it's really nothing. It's half of my pack of cigarettes. So you can easily watch these movies. You can find a bunch of other movies that maybe you'll request us to cover later on down the road through Shudder or AMC Plus. But it is exciting for us to cover something that is so true to a lot of niche horror fans. And even though they may not respect us, we're going to talk about it regardless. Now, if you want to be a part of the J Squared Horror Podcast, you can always go to www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com. It is a easily navigated website with all of our links and all of our clickable buttons where you can contact us, whether you want to be on the episode live and in person, if you want to be on the episode via StreamYard, or if you just want to request an episode idea, you can do it all through our website. If you're a business or you have somewhere where you'd like to have trivia, you can also do that via our website as well. We've done 7 trivias in the local Hampton Roads area, so if that intrigues you at all, please go to our website, check it out, contact us. We'll give you pricing and what we do and see if that's up to your idea of having horror podcasters do horror trivia. Now, what I'd also like to mention real quickly is we are a part of the Darkcast Network.
Woo, Darkcast.
For the best of indie podcasts, they do true crime, they do spooky, they do paranormal, and horror podcasts. We release episodes every Thursday, as you know from our intro, but if you need a podcast fill for your week, please go to www.darkcastnetwork.com, or you can check them out on Instagram and find a plethora of podcasters that can fill your week. They have supporting us for a long time, so we would like our fans to support them. So through the Darkcast Network, this entire network can grow and can support, and that's what we're looking for here with our J Squared horror fans. So thank you to the Darkcast Network for including us. We are super stoked to be a part of that. And with that being said, we are about to get into the episode on When Evil Lurks.
When Evil Lurks.
Evil be lurking, bro. Now,
Everywhere.
evil do be lurking everywhere. So, is there anything, have you done any like horror research since the last time we got together?
Nope. Have you?
I saw something today and I'm trying to quickly look it up. I know there's a lot of talk about Maxine. People are super excited about Maxine.
Yeah.
The Carpenter's Son, new horror film about the childhood of Jesus, starring Nicolas Cage, is happening.
That's a horror movie?
I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm reading it on ihorror.com.
Okay.
They're a good resource for horror news. And Mike Flanagan is in talks to direct a new Exorcism movie for Blumhouse, which is exciting for some.
Boo.
Somewhere I saw that A24 wasn't. Yeah, here it is. A24 Studios might not be going forward with its planned Peacock Friday the 13th spinoff called Crystal Lake.
Of course not.
The website quotes entertainment blogger Jeff Snyder, who made a statement on his webpage through a subscription paywall. I am hearing that A24 has pulled the plug on Crystal Lake, its planned Peacock series based on Friday the 13th franchise featuring masked killer Jason Voorhees. Brian Fuller was due to executive produce the horror series.
Brian.
It's unclear whether it's a permanent decision or a temporary one, as A24 has no comment. Perhaps Peacock will help the trades shed more light on the project, which was announced back in 2022.
I was just about to say, I feel like I waited like 2 years for this show to come out.
It's been 2 years, man. So with that, how do you feel as a Friday the 13th fan that was looking forward to the Peacock TV show?
I'm 100% disappointed, but also 100% not surprised.
Yeah, shit. Friday the 13th at its core gets like cursed almost, man.
It's
It
like,
sucks.
what the fuck, dude? You put out, you got Michael Myers doing this thing.
Yeah.
They're in talks with some more Nightmare on Elm Street stuff.
Exorcist stuff. Yeah.
Scream.
Yeah. Oh God. So that's some horror news for you guys this week. So do your research, figure out what's going on in the horror world. Those are the big topics of what I saw today. But what we're here to talk about is When Evil Lurks from 2023. It is a foreign film, which you do have to read the subtitles unless you speak or understand that language, which we do not.
No.
As I was starting this movie, I was kind of pissed because I
know.
Yeah, I can't read, as a lot of our fans know from when we had our authors on. I'm good at audiobooks, which is basically just people talking in English about movies or about books. So it took me a couple of tries and a couple of minutes to get into it. But once it really started popping off, which doesn't take long in this movie at all, I was fully intrigued.
Were you?
Yeah, I wasn't. It didn't take me long at all to be into this movie.
So let me ask you this. So when I first started the movie, I didn't have the subtitles on yet. So when the guy, Pedro, I think his name is?
I don't know any names in this movie.
Comes out, it looked like Hugh Jackman to me from Logan. Yeah. I was like, is this the right movie?
Yeah.
But, yeah, when it first started, I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah. But it's only a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah.
It's not like 30.
I mean, it gets right into what you, not even what you think may be happening.
Yeah.
It gets into something.
Because this movie is called When Evil Lurks.
Yeah.
So you're imagining some evil lurking around.
They're talking about some goat shit and
there's
old Ruiz.
Ruiz, who is the owner of the land that everybody's on, it seems like.
This is my land. This is the exact quote from Ruiz, by the way.
Yeah, it is. So I feel like for our fans, as long as you can get past that little bit, it's a solid film.
Yeah, if you can get past the first 10 minutes,
If that,
good.
yeah. It's because, it's reading. It's out of normal horror. Well, not even normal. I don't know what a lot of people listen to or like. So if you disagree with us, comment down below on YouTube. Comment on Instagram.
I feel like a lot of people like foreign
how you
horror
feel
movies.
about foreign horror. Me and Jake are very new to it.
Yeah.
We, as you know, we're non-nuance. What is it?
Yeah.
Nuance free.
Yeah,
We're
nuance
nuance free. We're a nuance free horror podcast.
There is
so
no nuance here.
there's if
you're
it's
unclear.
nuance, it ain't here.
Yeah, you want nuance. You can find it here.
You find the fuck elsewhere.
I feel like most people like foreign films, people who aren't really into it, they may think of like The Ring.
Yeah, but that's like, you're like
The Grudge.
diving deeper.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty like common. Like The Grudge.
Yeah, but they were American made.
Sure.
And then you find out that they weren't originally.
I think some people knew they weren't,
I'm sure some did.
but this isn't by any means
Bad.
a bad movie.
But the one exciting thing is this the one that's being remade or no?
No, that's the other one.
Oh, that's
I
the other
can
one.
never
Yeah.
fucking think of the title.
All right. Because the whole time, jeez,
Damn.
I dropped the mic just low enough to get away with that one. The whole time I was watching,
I don't think you did.
I did. We'll hear it on the editing, and we'll be good.
And so will the listeners.
I the whole time I was watching, I was like, "What is James McAvoy doing in this movie?" I think I'm wrong though. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yes,
it's the other one. I can't either because
What's
that's why we
what's
took
that
it
movie
off our
fucking
list.
called?
I don't know. We're covering it when we find out more. Damn. When Evil Lurks is, I will say this at the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way because it's things that we have covered or things that most people know.
Okay.
So it follows combined with Smile. And I think we covered both of those movies in our podcast.
We did.
I feel like that's a good, like, kind of precursor if you are intrigued by this movie at all about kind of what you get from this movie.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I didn't get that at all.
How the fuck not?
Yeah. Nothing about it says smile for sure because one, no one's smiling.
No, it's okay. That's not the smiling part, dude.
And
You're looking at the fucking face value of it.
yeah.
I'm looking at the deeper meaning.
Oh, so now you have nuance to you.
I have nuance.
Look at that.
I'm growing.
Scratch
nuance.
that. We are a nuanced
Yeah.
podcast
Fuck
now.
you guys. Maybe some of us are nuanced on the podcast. No, I honestly feel like because it's like if something happens to you based on this thing, it then continues. And because of that, you have to think of a movie like Smile.
So it made me think of just like any other possession movie.
Any other?
Yeah.
Let's just throw in the GOAT
Also,
for a lot of people of possession movies, which is The Exorcist.
Also,
Doesn't make you think Exorcist at all.
It made me think of Fallen, movie we covered also on the podcast a while ago. Not the touch aspect.
We covered Fallen. Did we officially cover Fallen?
Yeah, we did.
One did pretty bad.
No, it did pretty well, actually.
did pretty well.
You guys want to go back and watch it?
Yeah, go check
Denzel
out-
Washington,
Go check out Fallen.
John Goodman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the touch aspect.
Yeah.
It's
Good
a
movie.
little different than that, though.
I was getting
So
there.
we're both kind of hitting, kind of in the same veins in
it
our own
was
movies.
Different aspect of you don't have to touch it for it to get to you, but if
Just like you don't have to smile for you to get to it. Is my
if
thing.
you if you kill it with a gun for some reason,
Yeah, it does not like gunpowder
no.
or the scent.
Then it like transfers to the person that killed them with
Yeah.
the gun,
Yeah, which is also kind of smiley.
which is very strange to me.
It is an interesting concept.
But I guess there are certain aspects. What is that? Aspects
I don't know.
of if you're nearby and you witness it happen, it does affect you, like we saw with Pedro.
Yeah.
Or Wolverine.
Yeah.
Logan.
Yeah.
When he saw his one part that fucked me up. Just get right into it.
We're diving in, boys and girls.
The point where he sees his ex-wife
Yes.
holding the new husband's
Daughter.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. When the current husband sees the ex-wife or the current wife holding his daughter, the way he runs into her with that truck,
Yeah.
that shit fucked me up.
That reminded me of Smile.
There are a lot of kills in this movie.
Which we're going to get into our favorites, of course.
Yeah.
Because if you guys know anything
But
about the
this
J-Squared
isn't a
Horror
favorite or
Podcast-
anything, but it's just one that stuck out in my mind.
Yeah.
That's all.
So, with that, to anybody new to our podcast or even existing horror podcast fans of ours, there's two things you'll get from this podcast for sure. You're going to get a rating of the movie and you're going to get our favorite kill. So make sure to stick along to the end of the episode so you can catch that, because we always cover that at the end of every episode, as you know in our descriptions. So, there's some intense moments in this movie. Now, the one thing that this movie does better than, I say, American release films is the fucking kills in general. They look good, and they are fucking intense.
Yeah. So
This movie is not for the faint of heart.
No.
This movie's it's intense, dude.
So when I saw the
Axe couple?
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So I guess the
Jesus, Ruiz.
picture, I can't think of the word that shows it. Dude, these fucking clubbies, dude.
Clubbies are catching up to us today, but we're gonna get through it.
The art,
Yeah.
the picture, when you see a movie, the cover art, I don't know. Anyway,
The poster?
damn poster,
Jesus Christ.
the poster. When it shows the outline lady holding the axe facing towards her,
Yeah.
I thought,
What is this?
my first thought was, that's not how you hold an axe.
It's really not. But that's one of the more
That's
intense moments of this film.
That makes no sense to me.
So what is it called? What do they call it? What do they call the fat guy?
Rotten.
Rotten. So
Yeah.
in this movie, the overall possessed creature is called the Rotten, and it is fucking disgusting.
Because he's rotten as fuck.
He's disgusting. Rotten is the perfect adjective to explain what you see, and you see it fairly early on. It's not hidden from you at all. It's not something you have to wait around for. Now, what happens after they find the Rotten then makes the Rotten harder to find later. But when you actually see the Rotten, you're like, this thing's fucking rotten. And it wasn't called the Rotten yet, but it is rotten. It's a very obese man with boils and just disgustingness, which it happens a lot in possession movies.
a lot of pus leaking out.
A lot of pus and stuff.
When it started to ooze
It started oozing out of his mouth, dude. I was already ready to go home, dude. Or I was, at Mallory's house, but I was ready to turn it off.
You're in that situation.
Am I the
And
ooze?
And we get to the point where we're like, hey, we should move this guy.
Yeah,
Are you in or you're out?
I'm out.
I am also out.
Yeah, no, dude. All right, so there's a couple of reasons why. I'm going in there from an outside perspective of something crazy is happening.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Now, when the original two brothers find the Rotten,
Yeah.
they're not thinking about moving it. It's until they tell Ruiz. Ruiz
Ruiz got all the fucking plans, all the ideas.
Ruiz owns the land, and he wants to make sure everything's okay. But they also firmly in this area believe that the church is gone. There's some other.
Yeah, he
don't-
says the church is
Yeah,
dead.
I don't know what the meanings are behind that, because we're in America and this is still a very religion-based country. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Spain right now. That kind of plays into that, because it's a very common theme in this movie where it's like the church doesn't fucking matter. Whereas in a lot of our possession movies, the church is our last fucking
church is
hope.
the savior.
It's our savior.
Yeah.
If you find a priest or find somebody, and they have cleaners, which you find out in the beginning. So how this movie starts,
Cleaners don't work.
yeah, how this movie starts isn't, we don't walk through movies anymore, but we'll at least paint this picture for you. When you're getting into that first 10-minute period, what me and Jake were talking about at the beginning of this episode is that they're looking out from their house, hearing and seeing gunshots go off in the woods, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Because they kind of know the land. Obviously, Ruiz owns it, and there's only a certain amount of people that would be in that area which could be happening. So they're going to go check it out because they know that this is closer to their land than somebody else's, and something bad could be going on. But what they find is half of a body and a lot of instruments, and instruments being like medical or scientific instruments that you would see in what you would hope would be scientific or exorcist or religion based cleanings. And then you find out that it's a cleaner, because when they go to the ladies, I can't remember her name, Melina or some shit. When they go to her house, she said, and I quote, "We're expecting that person." And they're like, why? They go inside, and that's when they find the rotten. But when they find the rotten, they go tell Ruiz, because Ruiz owns the fucking land, and they feel like they have to. But they also aren't tight with him. They're kind of in trouble with him to begin with.
Ruiz is kind of shitty.
He's a dick because he's a landowner, and they're not. There's something going on there. And this guy, Logan, if you will, because we can't remember his name, he looks like Wolverine and Logan.
I think his name is Pedro.
Pedro. We'll go with Pedro. You find out throughout this entire movie that he comes across as like a murderer, or something happened in his past where he got kind of banished to an area like this.
Pedro's also the worst fucking character in this movie.
Pretty shitty character.
Yeah.
But when they tell Ruiz, he then decides that this has got to end. Like, this is over. I don't want my land being cursed. So he drives to the house in his Ram 1500 and goes to shoot the guy in the face. And this is where the movie kind of like is like, oh shit, because the rotten is like, do it. I'm going to kill everything in you. I'm going to possess your wife, your baby, and kill you. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so here's from like, nah, I can't do this.
Yeah, I can't do this. So let's move him, and let's drive him as far away as we possibly think that he could go before, where he can't cause damage anymore.
Which to me makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
There's not a mile radius to
There
this.
does not seem like there's a radius to this, because they now know who you are. So as long as you know who that person is, they can be attacked.
Yeah.
It's like how my brain would comprehend the situation.
Yeah.
Right? How do you guys feel? Would you guys agree? I mean, I don't know. That's how we would feel.
Yeah. Also, my first thought wouldn't be,
I would leave. I would go as far away as I possibly could.
which was the original idea,
Yeah.
was just to leave the city.
Let's just go.
Like, nah.
Now, they're on the
We got to be a part of this.
They're on the outskirts of said city
Leave.
at the beginning, but then they somehow make it all happen, which is, is neither here nor there.
They drove 300 kilometers.
What's a kilometer?
I don't know.
I don't either. This is America. We do miles. But they didn't, because it fell out at some point. And they feel like it's when they almost hit the kid. Also, why kid crossing street in cornfields? Don't know.
I remember driving through, this was years ago.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Montana or Wyoming.
Jesus Christ.
One of the two.
Rural.
It's nothing but fields. We're driving on. There's at least 5 or 6 miles. So 2-lane street, one this way, one the other way. Just
Yeah.
driving for miles. And there's a person out of nowhere who walked out of a field and just started walking down the street.
This is a memory of yours.
This is a thing that really happened.
Okay.
And my first thought was,
Hit it.
first, where the fuck did you come from?
Had you seen Children of the Corn yet?
Yes. And 2, I thought, well, this is the time where the car's going to break down.
Yeah, this is when the tire goes flat.
Immediately.
the radiator blows.
And we're going to look back, and the person we just saw, we would no longer see.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought of that. when they were driving
Yeah.
these 300 kilometers, I thought
Because it's very much on roads like
and
that.
I thought, this fucking kid on a bike, which I'm pretty sure is a kid you see later in the movie,
I think it's that same kid.
which made me think, dude, you fucking ride everywhere. 1,
Clearly, it's the best means of transportation.
and
for him.
2, how early on were these kids fucked up?
It happened after that. I'm almost guaranteed. I think he was just crossing the street to go to school.
Fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot, yeah. Now, what's crazy is when Pedro comes up with his Shaun of the Dead plan, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is how he feels like the best way to go about this is, which he wants to go get his kids, which, as we've already kind of mentioned, he's in an estranged
Yeah, an estranged
marriage where he's the ex and his kids, he only gets part-time, if that.
The wife has
restraining order on him, and he decides to go against the law. And you already see when when they originally saw the Rotten, they drove to the cops, and they're like, "You're fucking crazy. We know who you are," and so that didn't work. So it's not that important to the story. But when he goes to meet his ex-wife and his kid, and then his wife's new kid and family, he comes across as a fucking lunatic. But the crazy part is, he goes and he knows that there's 7 rules to making sure you don't get possessed in this movie. Couldn't fucking name them.
But he didn't know it at that point.
He didn't know it at that point, but he obviously did, because he knew not to bring anything with them. He even said that when they were packing the truck, like, bring nothing with you, which is fine. And there's also a kid that showed up that was like, don't use power, and you'll find out why later. But
the one thing his dumbass brought with him,
clothes.
Was his fucking clothes.
His clothes. So he knows he has to destroy the clothes, but does it once he gets to his ex-wife's and his family's house.
Mistake number 2.
Mistake number 2 for sure. Mistake number 1 is thinking that you could save the day by bringing it into the town.
Yeah.
Which
100%.
That's just the dumbest fucking thing ever. But you go from there, and he takes off his clothes, and he's going to eventually burn them, but the dog sniffs the clothes. And you're kind of sitting there like, this dog's kind of fucking big. It's kind of scary. It's a big, scary dog. He's sniffing it.
Starting to lick it.
You're like, something's going to happen here, but I don't know what. And so for me, Mallory had already watched this movie a couple months ago.
Okay.
I had never seen it before until we talked about covering it. Obviously, with me texting you, freaking out about having to read, everybody knows where I stood on this movie for at least a couple of minutes. I'm already into it at this point. I'm fully sent, and you get this this kind of thing that plays out. You do not see this coming. So trigger warning if you have kids. This is going to be fucking intense for you. Doggy finds a little girl. Little girl is standing near Doggy and gets fucking mauled by the dog. I mean, bit in the fucking face. This dog goes from 0 to 100,000 in the split of a fucking second, where the only person that sees it is his natural born son, which is that girl's stepbrother.
Yeah. And
when I tell you, as you guys heard on an episode that we covered recently, where like now I have a girlfriend with a kid, and I kind of have had this new emotions towards loving and appreciating children and really, you know, being a protector. Holy fucking shit, was I getting sweaty watching this, dude. This little girl did nothing wrong. This dog just went fully animalistic, bit her in the face, drug her under the table, and commenced to eating her. To where the one little boy is just like, Dad, the dog's doing some fucked up shit. And this isn't dad, this is stepdad. And the stepdad's like, what are you talking about? Looks under the table, and the girl then gets drugged by her face outside of the house and ran down the street. Any logical human being, whether you're watching a movie or in that situation, would theoretically know that kid's fucked.
When the dog bites down and starts to shake the shit out of the kid.
I mean, ragdoll.
I knew at that point.
She's passed.
That girl's dead.
Unfortunately, the girl died.
She's gone.
And this, I don't know if you felt the same way. I'm going to, this is fucking sound pretty fucked up.
Okay.
I was already kind of on Pedro's team at this point, even though he's a piece of shit. But at the same time, I was like, I don't give a fuck about this little girl.
So early on, I was Team Pedro. And my first thought was, yeah, it's not my kid, though.
It's not my kid, right? Yeah, so I'm sitting in the same thought process, right? So it's like out of all the kids to get eaten by the dog.
It's not mine. I'm going to help you look for the dog.
But I know at the end of the day.
To dispose of the dog.
Yeah, to try to get rid of it.
I know. Your kid is gone.
Kid's gone.
I'm not here for that.
Kid's gone. This is outside of my realm of helping. Like,
sure.
I'm happy you were with me on that. Because I feel like I kind of felt like a piece of shit.
Because my 2 kids are good.
Yeah.
And they're here.
I have a normal kid and a fucking weird kid.
Yeah.
So that brings me to the next topic of discussion for me.
Okay.
Right. So you have a kid.
I do.
I have a girlfriend with a kid.
Yeah.
Both of said kids are normal.
Okay.
Could you
Oh, boy.
imagine yourself
Uh-huh.
in a stressful situation? I feel like it added a lot to the movie, being that this kid was either his eldest kid with every bit of 14, 15 in my book.
Definitely a teenage kid.
Teenage kid, well above preteen, before you kind of get in that 16-year-old range.
Uh-huh.
Fully mentally incapable of normalness, which is either autism, Asperger's, whatever you want to consider it. I don't know exactly because they don't tell us in the movie.
do.
He's, what is it?
They say it's autism.
It's autism. It is.
Yeah.
All right. So it's for sure autism.
Now, that's what we're told.
So it is a fully autistic child that, if you know anything about autism, there are certain things that make them kind of freak out. I've seen it in person. We all know that it exists. But
Are you not?
my question
Dude,
to you
okay.
is, like, this is going to sound so fucked up.
I know that it is.
Yeah. Are you still bringing him with you in this stressful of a situation, being that he cannot control himself in situations?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Now, because of two things.
Because of what?
One,
Yes.
I know, based on the movie, if I put him somewhere or have him sit somewhere or stand somewhere, one, his ass ain't moving.
He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
He's just freaking out about apple ice cream
He can sit in the car for hours.
forever.
Won't move.
Nope,
So
until he gets his apple ice cream.
I don't have to keep track of him.
Yeah.
One.
Two?
Two, it's my kid.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah.
Now, if I am stepdad role,
Yeah.
I'm talking my wife into, hey,
Hey,
let me tell you something.
listen here. We have a better chance of survival.
Leave him.
We just leave him.
Leave him here.
He's going to die or he's going to die? Is he going to die near
Yeah,
us or away
let me
from
tell
us?
you, he's not going to make it.
All right.
But then you find out later on
Well,
that he's not
he's a crucial part to the puzzle.
really autistic.
No, he is. What do you mean he's not really autistic? It's until he gets possessed that he's not. That's what's crazy.
So here's my thing, my thought, real quick on that.
Yeah, what?
So a part of me thinks, because the whole hands and feet shit, homegirl points out later when
Yeah.
he's sitting in the car.
He's possessed.
There's no way no one noticed that prior to her in that moment.
Yeah, because if you think about it, it happened while he was sleeping and he was alone. That's when that happened. When that happened is when the dead mother showed up, put blood all over the car. Could have opened the door for all we know. We don't know because it pans into the inside. She could have possessed him at any point. I don't know what the rules of the rotten are,
Uh-huh.
which this movie doesn't really get into other than the 7 that we get.
No rules.
We get 7 though.
So
But-
those are 7 rules to like prevent it.
Yeah, we don't know what
But the
causes
rules
it.
are
Yeah,
once it
what
happens,
causes it.
no
yeah.
rules.
So it is like, I honestly feel like the teenage son got possessed when the dad was sleeping in the car and he was just alone.
So it just came and left.
Yeah, it came into him and then what continued with her. It split off like a disease.
So it possessed the son at one point,
Yeah,
and then later in the movie, it just leaves him.
I don't think it ever did. That's what's crazy. What do you mean it leaves him? It never left him.
Okay, so there's a point where he's left alone with the grandmother,
Talking,
and he's walking around,
walking, and talking
just fine,
normally.
talking normally.
Fully possessed.
Yeah.
He's fully fucking possessed.
Okay, but the hands
Or normal.
are normal.
Yeah, because it's taken full control of him.
So later on in the movie, he's still possessed.
Yeah.
but just choosing to not show it at all.
He's just the showing of it is the fact that he's normal. That's what proves he's possessed because he was so far on the spectrum.
Towards the end, when
Yeah,
he's
but
eating the
he's-
ice cream.
He's normal though.
So my thought was he was possessed the entire time.
No, he was only possessed after the mom.
I think it could
Came
been-
by the car.
Could have been earlier on.
He was an original possession.
Yeah,
That's why he had autism.
it could.
But
be.
why would he have talked normally to then kill the? He ate the grandmother
He 100% ate her.
raw.
Yeah,
That's fucking insane.
it is.
But
But it's just small things they mentioned earlier on in the movie that made me think maybe the entire time he was just a vessel.
I feel like he was in.
That wasn't 100% usable at that time.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because of his autism, he was just easily possessed.
You think so?
Yeah, that's all it was.
When
He can't really fight it.
When Homegirl sees him and she points out to the brother,
His hands.
he's rotten.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he has autism.
Yeah.
She's like, that's what you. She says,
what you
well,
think.
You told me that.
Yeah.
But
look at his hands and his feet.
Even prior, she didn't even see his hands and feet.
Oh.
She was in the house looking at him.
Oh,
Sitting in the car.
I might have checked my phone at that point.
He's rotten.
This
He's
movie's.
Like, no,
You have to watch this
it's
entire
autism.
movie. Yeah.
But as it goes on, she then opens the car and points out his hands.
Look at
his
his
hands
shit.
are just mangled. They're a different color.
Yeah, they're like full talk to me possession. It's crazy. I feel like he got possessed in the car though.
Okay.
But you know, that's neither here nor there.
But it's almost like the Evil Dead in a certain aspect too.
Can be, yeah.
If you're killed by it,
You become it.
you become it.
Yeah. And
Did you
it
see-
really makes it drastic. You have to like die brutally. The thing is about this one is it seems like you have to die brutally.
That and it plays on
That plays on Evil Dead a
it
lot.
plays on your fear, like
Yeah.
it almost.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
It is. It's a deeper.
Yeah, it is.
It's a deep movie, I'm sure. Deeper than we'll ever get into, as we
Yeah.
mentioned a lot on the podcast. But I feel like, you know, once the mom comes back, the ex-wife comes back and does what she does. And what's crazy about that is she takes the youngest from the grandmother. The grandmother did a shit job of protecting.
Well, she said she took her pills.
She was high as a kite.
She's like, I'm a little
It's
sleepy.
like, I might have dreamed this shit, but she might have taken them and yeeted herself out the window. Got one in.
I'm glad you're here, though.
I'm glad I can talk to you guys about this. This whole sequence of events is just insane to me. So you lose your youngest. You know the eldest is already possessed, but you leave him with the same grandmother that couldn't even keep the normal grandchild protected.
Granted, you know you can leave them anywhere, so you're good.
You typically could, but this one's walking and talking normally now. And then you get the split. So you have Jose, what the fuck was his name?
Who?
The dad?
Logan? Pedro.
Pedro. Pedro goes off with the witch lady, the lady that understands this. She didn't have any power in her house. They drove to her house to find safety and sanctity, but the dad didn't like it. They go off together, and then the brother, who's my favorite character in this entire fucking movie because he's solid from start to finish. He questions everything, but then still follows along because he wants to protect his brother and his life. Goes off by himself to find the ex-wife and the son.
Which he does.
He does. And when he does, it's fucking insane. Mind you, we've already mentioned that this movie's already pretty fucked up from the jump. The axe scene that happens is crazy, which we didn't even talk about. I just realized that. And then this part. So she's walking with her son. She got hit by a truck and died. We all know this. But she comes back, takes her kid. Walking down the road, which he's flashing on and off his lights because you can't use power. That's one of the powers of the demons or the rottens.
Which is weird. Why can't you use power?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know, let's go back to, we can just talk about, you know, if we think about last week's episode on Late Night with the Devil, the power really fucked him. So it makes sense.
It did.
It did. So it makes sense. It
So,
all comes back.
We don't
full
know
circle.
why.
We don't know why, but it does
it makes sense.
exist in
Okay.
other possession
It's a
movies.
thing.
It's a thing.
So
So
if you think of the Fantastic Four and what Doctor Doom, he can like touch sockets and take the power out
Yeah.
and shoot it at people.
yeah,
Okay.
similar concept. You know, for all you nerds out there that can understand that.
Good old Victor Von Doom.
Victor Von Doom. He's driving down the street and sees her carrying the body of her son. And you're like, okay, cool. He's just carrying. And then she's eating his fucking brain. His
Correct.
entire skull cavity is open, and she's eating it.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy fucking shit! This movie has no rules. This movie has no ratings, no rules. It's fucked up. It's beyond fuckery.
Yeah, she was eating the shit out of that
Eating the
kid's brain.
shit out of her
Just
brain.
snatching it out and just.
While drunk walking down the street.
Yeah.
He goes, I got an idea. And he runs him over. Solid idea. That's how she died in the first place. Then you get cut to,
Oh, quick thing. So when he hits her with the car and she leans
hole in her head.
and she
dude.
leans her head back,
Ugh.
and then she's pouring out. And she goes, "Like you said, you loved me." What do you think that meant?
For the safety of his nieces and nephews, or his nephews.
Oh, I thought they were fucking.
No, I don't think so.
I do.
I don't.
Because she mentions on
He's
the
a
phone,
solid character.
She mentions on the phone when her spirit or possessed version of her is calling that she fucked everything.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's the possessed version.
I think
She fucked her brother?
it could have included him. It happened.
I didn't think about
happened
that.
to Hellraiser.
Did.
Yeah.
Maybe they used some Hellraiser.
Which is, top notch film, by the way.
It's not. It's dog shit. This is way better. I don't like the whole school shit. It's just a lot going on.
With the kids and stuff?
Kids and stuff, yeah.
So, my first thought when I saw that scene, I thought, I wonder if it's me and Josh in that situation. Is he walking into that room with those kids in there?
No. I'm scared of kids.
So, we were looking at the window,
What am I scared of?
saw the kids and thought, hey, we need to figure out a different plan.
Yeah. What am I scared of, Jake?
I thought you're scared of old people.
And?
Kids.
Yeah. So you think I'm going to go into a school full of kids that aren't moving?
Directly into the mic.
Yeah. You think I'm going You think I'm going to go into it's late at night?
Those kids should be in the first fucking place.
They shouldn't be there in the first fucking place. Why are they all sitting there silently, knowing I know what's going on?
Yeah.
She knows that it uses them. I've heard this. I'm not going in there,
Because
dude.
evil likes kids.
Evil likes kids 'cause
Kids
they're-
like evil?
They're easily manipulated, and kids will fall for anything. That's why they get kidnapped for the
Yeah.
van full of candy.
But why do kids like evil?
It's the candy theory. It's like the van and candy.
Also,
You've been told your entire life not to get in the van with candy, but a lot of kids do.
Also, are you telling me that big pus-ridden thing bounced out of the back of that truck
Bounce.
and walked his ass to that school?
rolled.
They're like, yeah, come here.
Yeah. Or a couple of them passed by and they were like, carried them. Yeah.
They walk by. Let me check this thing out.
Yeah, then it possesses them because it spits some pus on them.
You want to see a dead body?
Exactly, dude. You get it. You get it. See, that's it, man. It's what's that movie called? Left Behind. Nope, that's a Jesus movie.
So it killed all those kids
Mhm.
and all the teachers.
Parents. That weren't even teachers. Those were parents.
Damn.
Yeah. Did you not catch that?
You should quit the PTA, guys.
Yeah. Don't do the PTA because
It's
this
not
is
for
what
you.
happens
You'll end up
when
in
you're
the
a part of the
fucking
PTA. You're going
floorboards.
to end up underneath the stage covered in lime by your children. Not even your students. They said parents. I don't even know where the fucking teachers were.
Yeah.
The parents probably went to look for their kids, and they're like, maybe they're all at the school. And they all went and got fucking killed and put on top of the fucking gross guy.
Which is gross within itself.
Gross guy. Which, also, why we hate Pedro?
Pedro.
Why we hate Pedro is probably this part right here. He's not the worst up until this part,
No.
but he is the
Pedro's
worst.
been the worst since the fucking jump.
Probably. But this really sold
Nothing
me.
but bad choices.
This really sold me on bad choices. The lady who you have been trusting to give you advice the entire time since you find
Yeah.
out what actually is going on
Exactly.
tells you, don't fucking leave me. They're going to kill me. This is a trap. He's like, I'm going to walk out.
I'm going to trust this kid.
Dude, they bash her fucking head in with a hammer
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly. This isn't quick, guys. This isn't some one-hit wonder like fucking I would walk 500 miles and a half. No, this is a fucking album. This is Queen in their prime. This is from the stage out the door. She's taking slow, steady strokes
He's
to
watching.
the fucking dome piece from a hammer from the girl that you trusted that tricked you. Which she's been telling you since the jump not to trust these little fuckers.
Also, you were punching that kid in the face 5 minutes ago.
Punching her in the fucking face.
Beating the shit out of her, get information out of her. Hey, you know something? I
And
trust you.
your lady was telling you she was fucking playing you like a fiddle. The devil went down to Georgia and fucked you up. because you're the dumbest fucking character that I've seen in quite some time, Pedro.
Every decision he made was bad.
Bad. Every decision he made
From
was bad.
going to his ex-wife's house.
Yep. Bringing it into the city.
To taking the clothes off there.
The dog eats the girl.
I was like, dude, you should have took your initial plan. You saw
Also,
the body. You tell your brother, hey, let's go get up out of here.
No offense. Fuck your kids. They're better off without you, bro. This is selfish parenting 101 is
Also,
what this movie is.
He's been gone, she said, for 4 years.
4 fucking years.
Why
and
are you back now?
All of a sudden, you think you're going to protect them by bringing the plague of demons to the town? You fucking imbecile.
You know how I'm going to win them back? I'm going to save this fucking town.
This is some bullshit ass 28 day later theory, man.
But it honestly cost him
everything.
His kids,
All of them.
ex-wife,
All of them.
his mother.
That's it. His brother
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah. Which I'm not sure how he made it.
Because he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
He was just out there just
Listening. That's what he was doing.
He was keeping.
He was listening.
When Pedro was losing his shit out in the street,
He's like,
he went and
look,
consoled and told him, hey.
You need to keep your shit calm because everybody in there thinking you're crazy as fuck right
he
now.
goes, they're all looking right now.
Hey, they're watching you.
Also, mom will be upset. Get up.
Hey, shh, come here. You're pissing off mom. And anybody that knows, don't want to piss off mom.
Also, the fact that he, on his own, went to go find the kid. Like, dude, he said, because I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of.
He's not scared of what could.
Well, it's crazy when she mentions the whole kid thing. He pretty much said, I'm not afraid of losing kids that aren't mine. So,
yeah, he's like, fuck it.
I'll just go.
Let me do it.
And he finds him.
He finds him and kills her.
Too late, but he still finds him.
Regardless of the lateness or not, he still takes out the situation. He handles business.
He does.
I'm sure there's deeper meanings to all of this. There's a 99% chance that there's some family dynamic meaning.
But it plays out like I knew how it was going to end based on dialogue earlier in the movie.
Really?
When she's talking to, I think it's orderly he meets.
Yeah.
Who I guess is a person that the brother slept with at one point?
They were banging back in the day. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, she's dealt with this in a smaller scale before.
Yeah. But someone, unless we heard someone else, tells a story about a kid who ate his family.
Yeah.
And is puking up the guts.
Yeah.
So when early in the movie you find the cut in half guy, and earlier in the scene where they're trying to drag the body out, the brother there, you see him look at the gun real quick.
Yeah.
So
he immediately looked at the gun.
Yeah, so he took it.
Yep.
Did his thing.
Yep.
Ate his mom.
Yep.
Hiding up there.
Yep.
So he was also possessed.
Yep. The entire time.
With that being in the house with him.
Yeah.
So later on, I knew.
And the brother from the jump did not want him there.
What do you mean?
The younger brother?
Yeah.
The guy we like?
Yeah.
Asked for him not to stay. He was like, no. And Pedro was like, yeah, you can stay. It's all Pedro's fault. Everything is Pedro's fault.
Another bad Pedro choice.
Yes. Pedro started off with the worst decision on trusting that kid being okay.
Where
the brother
went back to the like, hey, what happened to your fucking mom?
Yeah, he knew immediately. Which is crazy because this movie did not play into the mom of Pedro and this guy's disappearing at all.
No.
She just wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
But then you realize when the son is puking or he's getting choking on her hair and her necklace. What the fuck? And then, but what's crazy is they do it well because he's in the shed.
Body?
He's in the shed talking and being like, what his son did. And you're like, what? And then it flashes and you see him puking out all that shit. And you're like, oh my God, they eat him.
Because he happened to your mom. He said, the same thing happened to your mom.
Same thing that happened to yours.
He's like, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
So he gets home and he sees Pedro coming. He probably knows. Yeah, I know. I can tell from Pedro's punk ass reaction.
He just falls down on his knees and screams no a couple of times in the movie. He goes, credits.
Oh my God.
He killed his son. That's what happened. That's why that scene happened.
Well, if that's what happened.
That is what happened. He wasn't pissed that his mom died. He's pissed that he had to kill his son. That's why he reacted that way.
He killed his son?
Oh, yeah.
You pretty sure?
100%.
Okay.
That's the only reason the movie ended that way. It's because his brother was coming back to tell him, like, yo, I think oh, shit, he's outside crying.
You already figured it out.
Shit, he figured it out. Yeah.
So I wonder if the brother killed that kid upstairs
No,
in the barn.
let him live.
Why?
He's not going to do anything bad.
How? He ate his mom.
So he's not going to eat you.
Okay, the other kid ate his mom.
Exactly. What did he eat anybody else? No.
No, so why'd you kill him?
Well, because he ate his mom. And he's possessed.
The other kid ate a mom too.
Which proved my theory earlier that he was possessed post.
I think he was the entire time.
Nah, that's impossible. He wouldn't have wanted apple ice cream that bad. Also, who the fuck craves apple ice
You
cream?
didn't know that. The fucking dead mom making phone calls.
Who craves apple ice cream? Anybody? Have
I'm not a big ice cream guy.
Have you ever craved
I never
apple ice cream?
I had never craved ice cream in general.
Really?
Yeah. No. Although I do like honey buns. I ate one on the way here.
A honey bun?
Yeah.
Frosted or unfrosted?
Frosted.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
He's on the way here. In
Why
the
didn't
car.
you bring me one.
So right now we're 7-Eleven. If you put in your
Number?
number,
Mhm.
they're $1. And they're big fucking honey
You could have
buns.
brought me one.
They
for
had one
$1.
left.
They had one left.
One left.
That's bullshit.
Because they're right in the front by the register.
Because if you would have bought two, you would have ate two on the way here.
I wouldn't have.
You would have only ate one?
Yeah,
You have that kind of self-control?
They're big honey buns.
They're like that big.
They're bigger than that.
They're like that big.
You see?
Like that big.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I've been eating them for years. The frosted fucking honey buns.
But the 7-Eleven ones? So I bought 3 last week.
Yeah.
And I ate one as I was putting gas in the car that I sold.
Got to.
So I drove it to detail, dropped off. This girl works. She said, "Hey, you like honey buns?" She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Have you had the one from 7-Eleven?" She goes, "No." I pulled it out. There you go. Eat this.
So you gave a random girl one, but not me? Wow, dude.
I bought 3 the last year I was there. So I gave her one. The other one.
You had one on the way there. Where's the other one?
That's 1.
Yeah.
That is now 2.
Yeah.
I ate the 3rd one an hour later.
I get that.
Yeah, but there's only one left there. So I bought our drinks, had them up there.
Oh, you bought our clubbies. Okay.
I put my number in.
Yeah.
I looked down from my car. Said, hold on.
Hold on.
That's exactly how it
Dude,
happened.
our poops were fucking perfect.
They were.
Oh, God. Yeah, so the fucking son eats the grandmother. The dad kills the son. The brothers reconnect outside. And the movie fucking roll credits.
Yeah, we're done here.
Now, believe it or not, as crazy as this episode was, we were all over the fucking place. There was no type of tracking on this episode, but that's the whole point in a conversation-based horror podcast.
That is true. One thing I want to ask you about. We
Yes,
skipped
thank you.
over it.
What's up?
Ruiz. His death scene
Yeah.
with his wife.
Yeah.
So when she runs in,
Fell into my pants.
was it in like your secret pocket?
No, it was inside of this shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't either.
She runs in and tells him, the goats. The one goat. He comes out with the gun, shotgun, boom.
Do you know what I'm scared of?
You're never afraid of goats, are you?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Goats?
Yeah. How'd you not know I was scared of petting zoos?
Let me tell you something right now. You guys give me a hard fucking time
Okay, the thing
for
is,
being afraid of octopuses. But you're afraid of goats?
the thing is, there's a reason, right? Yours is just based off of you being a bitch. Mine is based off of something that actually happened to me
Please tell the
in my
story.
life.
I'm sure you were a kid, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your fear is if you just grew up just being a bitch your entire life.
No,
And
shut
I'm
up.
still afraid of goats.
Shut up. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I get a little uneasy with goats, all right? Because they're a part of petting zoos. I don't fuck with petting zoos. Because when I was a kid, when I was in the Cub Scouts, we had a trip to a petting zoo
Uh-huh.
where you could feed animals, live your life, and have a good time. That was the whole point in this trip.
You fed a goat, he bit
Nope.
your hand off.
Nope.
Okay.
I still have both hands, as you
Okay.
guys are aware.
So nothing extreme happened. But go ahead.
No, here's the thing. I was in the cage with the sheeps, right? The sheeps, right? Sheeps come across as very nice animals.
Yeah, you count them to go to sleep.
Some people do. If you're a fucking deranged psychopath. I was feeding a sheep, and then his homie sheep speared me into a fence.
Okay.
My little 9-year-old body
Okay.
was speared by a sheep into a fence.
Okay.
Which at that point, I no longer fucked with petting zoo animals across the board.
Okay.
Alpacas, llamas, goats, sheeps, donkeys. I don't give a fuck.
You're scared of alpacas.
What?
You're scared of alpacas?
Anything that you could pet at at fucking London Bridge fucking farms,
Shit.
I'm fucking scared of, dude.
Anything you can like pet and feed, you're afraid of?
Petting zoos now, yeah.
You afraid of dogs?
That's different. They weren't in there.
So if a pit bull came up to you,
I like pitties.
Okay.
I've never been attacked by a
But
pit. I've been
alpaca-
attacked by dogs, so I'm a little like,
but an alpaca, you're like, nope, don't
don't
trust
fuck
that.
with them.
Don't
So
trust that. Don't trust that
Check this
alpaca.
out. Check this out. All right. Me and Mallory and Holden went to his school's spring fling.
Okay.
Right? This is a true story, right? I'll give you 2 examples.
Okay.
This is the most recent. Me, Mallory, and Holden. Mallory's my girlfriend. Holden's her son. Go to his spring fling event at his kindergarten. Bunch of fucking kids. Snow cones. Pizza.
It's like a good time to me.
Snacks. Then this truck backs up with a trailer full of fucking petting animals.
Okay.
They stake these animals, not the animal themselves, but like the strings they're attached to, into the ground. There's about 8 of them. There's an alpaca. There's a goat. There's a sheep. There's some bunnies. Some other petting type animals.
You're not afraid of bunnies, though.
Not necessarily, but, you know, Monty Python's Holy Grail. That bunny's pretty fucked up, so it crosses my mind every once in a while.
All right.
The bunnies were too close to the other animals, in my opinion.
Okay.
So while my girlfriend, whom I love, and her son, whom I love, would walk towards that area,
Okay.
I would circle as far as I possibly could to the other side. I would use my iPhone's 5 times zoom to take pictures of them having a blast with the animals.
Okay.
I wouldn't go fucking within 30 feet of those fuckers.
Because a sheep tackled you almost 25 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Why are you scared of octopus?
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter why I'm afraid of octopus.
There should be a reason. I have an actual event that happened in my life that makes me nervous around animals at farms.
You don't need a reason to happen to not do something or be afraid of something.
Exactly. But when you do, it validates it further.
No, it doesn't.
You shouldn't question my fear of them because of this.
Have you ever been shot?
No.
Do you want to be shot?
Yes.
You want to be shot?
Yeah. I think
Why?
that'd be cool.
Why?
Because I want to know how it feels. Is it hot? Does it hurt?
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever been stabbed in your neck?
That would suck.
Do you want to be stabbed in your neck?
Not preferably.
Why not?
It's just something that I know would hurt pretty bad.
Well, you got to experience it first
I've been
to know,
stabbed
right?
in the hand and it hurt
You
like
got
a
to
son of a bitch.
experience it to validate it, right?
But it's not a fear. I'm not scared. I don't walk down the street and go, ah! I might get stabbed. I'm just walking down the street. You're scared of octopus because you're scared. I had something physically happen to me.
I feel like one, from looking at you, you were about to call me a bitch again.
No, it was not.
Your mouth was saying, because you're about to say, bitch. I saw it about to come out.
But it didn't. So you cannot prove this in the court of
I
law.
was going to.
You cannot prove this in the court of law.
Watch the episode.
You cannot prove this in
You'll
the court
see
of
it.
law. My thing is, regardless of your fear, I just give you shit about the octopus thing. If one grabbed your foot in an ocean, full sin, dude. I respect you. I love you. I still love you, even though you're scared of something you've never come into
You
contact
wouldn't be able
with.
to let me post them because I'd be dead.
I know, because you're scared. My
If
fear.
an octopus grabbed my fucking foot,
Trust me, dude. If that happened to me, I'd be terrified of them too. Right?
Yeah.
I get that.
you'd be scared.
Something
if a
physically
sheep
happened
brushed
to me.
against you, you'd be terrified.
Currently, yes, because
Yeah.
I got speared by one as a kid. Now, the other story that happened
Oh
was
boy.
I was every bit of 24, 25, and I
Okay.
decided to take this girl on a date.
You got some adult stories now. Here
I
we
decided
go.
to take this girl on a date to that farm,
Why?
London Bridge.
Why would you do that?
It was fall time. It was a cute thing to do.
But you knew.
I didn't
it
know
was-
she was going to want to go into the petting area, right? That's not everybody's cup of tea. We could have rode the little ride, could have checked out some pumpkins, and could have got on our way and gone home.
Okay.
Mind you, I'm in my mid-20s, right?
Okay.
She's like, hey, walks up to me with a cup full of that bullshit-ass food
Okay.
that you get to go into the petting area.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got this, right?
Okay.
We walk in. There's kids everywhere having a blast, petting shit, screaming, running. Me and the girl that I went on the date with, she walks in. It's a cage, right? It's a gate because these things are wild. They could fucking murder people. That's why they keep them enclosed.
They're sheeps
And goats and alpacas.
I have never.
As soon as I followed her behind that gate, it closed. I stepped right, had two pieces of fence behind me, and I kept my head on a swivel the entire time. I was shaking. She's out there petting and feeding shit. She turns around to ask me a question. I'm 20 feet away at the entrance, shaking. She does her thing, comes out, and we're walking out to go get some drink at the little concessions. And she goes, "Were you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm scared. I'm scared of petting zoos." And she goes, "Oh, why?" Then you have the moment of like I just did. Do I explain that I got speared by a sheep into a fence? It hurt a lot. It scared me a lot.
You 100% do.
Or do I just say, makes me uncomfy? So I decide to tell her the story. And she reacted basically how you did.
Like any fucking
Oh,
reasonable
so
person
something
would.
happened to you then. Why are you still... Because it fucking happened to me then. If I got stabbed in the neck, like you so forementioned, at any point in my life, I would then be fucking terrified of it happening again. Because I'm a survivor.
But here's the difference, though.
There's no difference.
There's a difference.
There is no difference.
You
It hurt.
You can't avoid the possibility of being stabbed in the neck.
But you know what you can avoid?
You can avoid
Petting zoos. And unfortunately, as I'm realizing in my life, I constantly get put in situations where I'm around these fucking animals.
These are recent things that have happened.
Yeah, within
You're
the
putting
last
yourself out
10
there.
years, dude. It's fucking terrifying. I'm not okay.
So,
And you know what sucks? I love pumpkin patches. I love farms. I love that white shit in the fall. It's the fucking best.
Okay.
But don't you fucking dare put me near a petting zoo. It's fucking scary,
so
dude.
now in my mind, I see you as Ruiz. You're out there, and it's that same sheep.
I'm fucking shooting that thing,
sheep
dude.
that speared you 20 years ago.
Yep. I'm shooting in the fucking
They're
head.
staring right at you.
And then my wife is going to axe me in the fucking
And
dome.
he walks up to you like, do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm done.
Okay.
I can't do it. I can't.
So in short, Ruiz shoots the goat, and then his wife takes an axe to his face and then to her own.
That's a cool scene.
Which I couldn't do that.
I couldn't do that, no. But she was possessed, so it didn't matter.
No, she wasn't.
They were all possessed at that point. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, that goat had an effect. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She didn't axe herself naturally. That was possession.
Yeah.
That
she
was
did.
the rotten.
No,
Yes.
it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Because at what point does the rotten ever show them killing themselves?
In the instance where he said, if you kill me, I'm coming after you.
Yeah. So at what point
But
does the rotten kill themselves? I'll help you out with it. It's 0.
Yeah, but...
So what happens is she kills her husband because she warned him.
But why would she be so scared of killing a goat? Did she have something happen there?
No, because she said, a goat tackled her 30 years ago, and she's terrified of that goat.
Exactly.
What happened was she says to him, if you kill the goat, it's going to go on to us. It's going to curse our family.
Yeah.
He didn't listen, so she killed him.
But then immediately, because of she knows her family's cursed, so she
Boom.
kills herself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But that shit was brutal. I was like, what the... That shit was...
And I love that it shows that the more she does it,
It's like slowing down because she's dying.
She's dying, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was intense.
Oh, fuck.
Is there anything that we missed?
Nope.
All right. Favorite kill? I think I know where this is going, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you anyway. What was your favorite kill from When Evil Lurks?
Favorite kill
23.
was the youngest son getting his brains eaten.
That was pretty intense.
That was my favorite kill.
Yeah.
Just seeing, because you see when he first drives by, lights aren't fully on yet, but you know.
He looks pretty dead. His legs were bouncing.
He's fucked.
Yeah. It was intense.
The blood just squirting, hitting the pavement.
Oh, yeah. It was intense.
It was good. What's yours?
I got to go to that girl getting eaten by the dog, dude.
That was good.
That shit was intense.
That was good.
It was intense. Because it happens in a moment where you're still not 100% sure what's going on with this movie yet.
Yeah.
And then you see that shit and you're like, oh, this shit's bonkers.
Yeah.
This shit's bonkers. Which it happened after the Ruiz family incident, which you should have kind of known that this shit was going to be wild.
Sure.
But that dog, for me, that just sent it. And it's, you know, it's not like the most gruesome part of the movie because it is a kid, and I feel like they kind of kept it to more the imagination than anything. But just the whole context of it, I feel like it was pretty fucked up.
Okay.
And I liked it. And I'm, you know, dogs are scary. And that was pretty
Also,
fun.
do you think the husband died?
Yeah.
When?
No, he lived. Because he just had his head a little fucked up from the car accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he fucked up the rest of the town, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Because they were like, there's no lights on.
I think after he hits them,
Mm-hmm.
he looks over and he sees his daughter looks like dancing and shit. He's like, probably, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think he came too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like it passed on.
But then it's interesting to me because usually when you shoot it and you kill it, it moves on to you. Did it move on to him for the moment
After he killed the dog,
to kill his wife?
and then it moved on to her.
Or did he kill his wife because he saw her holding who he knew could not have been his daughter?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been either. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely up in question
Yeah,
still.
I agree with that.
I don't know. Because he looked a little normal when he came to.
He did.
Yeah, and that's the only instance where, like, the rotten would have been normal.
Yeah, he looked normal coming to and confused as fuck seeing her dance around.
I was
and
like,
shit.
wait, that's my... Bah!
Yeah. I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah. All right, well, next is on a scale from 1 to 10. What do you rate When Evil Lurks?
On a scale from 1 to 10, When Evil Lurks is an 8.
God damn.
What about you?
Dude, 3 weeks in a row.
8?
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, when I was driving today and I was like, I got to be higher than Jake. I got to be higher than Jake, man. He's going to go 7.5 and I'm going to be 8. We're going to be chilling. I really thought you were going to go 7.5. I'm going 8 too, man.
Okay.
I love this movie, minus reading, which doesn't take away from it as long as you can get past that. It's like Parasite. I watched that and enjoyed it, and I read that one. Yeah, it's a super, super cool, super intense, super crazy kills. We would love to hear our fans' favorite kills, so please go down in the comments on YouTube or on Instagram. Let us know after you watch this movie what your favorite kills were. Also, let us know how you felt about our episode covering When Evil Lurks, our first ever foreign film covered on the J Squared Horror Podcast. I know, it was super exciting to cover. We did it. Jake pushed me out of my comfort zone to make sure I was a part of this since we told you guys we are covering it. So everybody give a round of applause for Jake for making sure that this episode happened this week. We're super excited to have talked about this one.
It's our second.
What's our first one?
The Sadness.
Oh, shit, The Sadness, yeah. Yeah, both fucking insane.
Both good picks, though.
Good picks. Insane movies. The Sadness takes the cake, but this one was pretty intense, too.
Yeah. Sadness is
I'm surprised we even covered that
on
one.
another fucking level.
Yeah, we debated it 5 minutes before we covered
did,
it.
yeah.
This one we fully sent because it wasn't that crazy, but The Sadness is fucking bonkers. Also a Shudder film, or at least it's available on Shudder. I do not think it's a Shudder original, but if you haven't seen it might be. If you haven't seen The Sadness yet, watch it. Go back and check out our episode on it. It's fucked up. Trigger warnings out the fucking wazoo for that one. This one's just like death and family shit. But yeah, this one was exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, Jake, let the fans know, what are we going to be discussing?
We are discussing 2022's Watcher.
Ooh, this one I feel like is super out of our normal realm of movies. This isn't super horror specific. It is definitely more personal drama and fear-based. Kind of falls along the line of Hush, I guess. As far as like movies we've covered so far.
Good movie.
We loved that movie. That one's a little bit more towards horror because it's a specific killer after somebody, but this one plays a lot on the emotions of fear and emotions of not listening to somebody in a fearful situation and what plays out because of that. So once again, another Shudder original, Watcher. Next week, we're going to be covering that. As always, a humongous shout out to all of our main supporters, Jeff Balance, who does our design work. Anything you see on our sign on YouTube, anything you see on our clothing that we wear that's J Squared, any of our social media icons are all done by Jeff Balance. If you need any graphic design work, please hit us up. We'll get you in contact with Jeff Balance. He does amazing work for great prices, especially if you come from the J Squared Horror Podcast. A humongous shout out to Lucky Riggs, who does our intro and our outro music. Fits our podcast well.
Love it.
He did it for free. You love him for that. A humongous shout out to world's greatest host a guy could ask for, Mr. Jake Devine.
Thank you.
He brings an atmosphere to this podcast that I can't imagine anybody else doing. So thank you for doing the podcast every single week, my friend.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week. And always remember, it's hip to be squared.